This channel is a proud member of the Disney Streamer Network.
Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Monorail system.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain behind the yellow line on the platform or behind the gates once you disembark the monorail.
Hey, I was on a monorail just a couple days ago. Just got back from my daddy-daughter trip. I survived. Finley survived. We did okay. We actually did better than okay, except for the last 2 days, which were 111 degrees. Way too hot out there, folks. Please remember, take fans, take take your battery packs to recharge your fans. Take your water bottle. I was just looking to see if I have mine. I don't have mine with me, but it is hot out there. Please be sure to take care of yourself. Here in North Carolina, we are experiencing a statewide drought, essentially. Some areas are worse than others. We're just not getting any rain this season, and so it's pretty bad here. But we did get rain in Florida Saturday, Sunday, just a little sprinkle. But that storm was enough to keep the clouds sitting right where we needed them. And even though it was expected to be over 100 degrees real feel, it ended up only being in the 90s, which actually was very good. And then Monday, Tuesday was ultra hot, and that happened to be 2 days that we went to Animal Kingdom for a little bit. So we had some pool time in there in the afternoon, so we weren't out in the extreme heat. So we're going to talk all about that. I'm going to recap that trip on Tuesday night on the Diz Pod. We are also going to, on Tuesday, talk about the all the July 4th festivities going on at the Disney park. So tune in for that 6:45 p.m. on Tuesday night. But we are here tonight. We're going to talk about all the Disney news, and there is plenty of it. We're going to go off the rails for a little bit, and then we're going to do a deep dive into the halfway to holidays. So we've got a lot to cover, so we're going to get started here. Do you want to say hello to those of you in chat? You should be watching either on Park Broz or on the Disney Streamer Network channel. This is also out on my Facebook channel as well. Pyle is here. Pyle Adventures, that's the brains behind the multi-view, the dsn.disneystreams.com. Hopefully you're watching us there, where you can see a ton of us at one time. Jim is here. Hello, Jim. We are not related, but we might as well be. And who else is here? Lisa Chandler Videos is here. Hello, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Jealous. Yeah, I mean, certainly be jealous of having to take 3 showers and sweat through your clothes all day long. And man, did I get soaked. Tuesday, I'm going to show you the video. Normally I go on Tiana's and I get wetter on Pirates than I do on Tiana's. That was not the case this time. Wait till you see this video. Catherine's here. Hello. We're going to talk to Catherine on Tuesday, since it was a daddy-daughter trip and she wasn't there. Yeah, off the rail, as in since it's a monorail. That's right. The other segment that we do is questions from the platform. Monorail, but it's social media platforms. anyway, you'll see it when we do that next week. Adult Rod, Disney Adult Rod is here. Good to see you as always. And it's me, David T. He was out there going bananas with the Savannah Bananas last week. Very cool to see that. Hello, Alicia. Good to see you. All right, so let's jump into the news here. First of all, anybody living in these areas, you've got new flights to Orlando through Avelo, I think. So out of the Charlotte market, they've got some good flights from what I've heard from my friends in that area. And then what is that? Philadelphia, Wilmington, and New Haven, Connecticut. So there you go. $49 to get you down to... yes, Catherine, we are. $49 to get you down to Orlando. So if you're looking for an inexpensive flight now that Spirit's no longer around, although I hear they may be coming back, we'll see. We took Frontier back and forth. Really easy, especially for a short flight. So there you have some options. You know me, I'm always trying to get people to Disney if that is something that you want to do. I don't want money to be the obstacle. So there you go. All right, Pete's Silly Sideshow is reopening. So Minnie Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, and Daisy will be moving back inside the tent. They have been milling around and kind of meeting off in corners as their home was renovated, essentially totally taken down and rebuilt. But they have a new move-in date that is Saturday at with posted times of 10 to 7. So I'm sure they are excited to be back inside with all that heat out there. Level 99 pricing has been announced. So tickets will start at $29.99 and they'll have premium add-ons available. They will operate from 11 to 10 Monday through Thursday. Fridays will be 11 to 11, Saturday 10 to 11, and Sundays 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I'm excited to see how that is. For one, I think I mentioned this last week, very excited to see some sort of entertainment spot get to Disney Springs. If you remember when it was Pleasure Island, it was like all entertainment, and now it's all shopping. And I think there needs to be some mix of the two, plus obviously dining. But outside of Cirque du Soleil, which you're not going to go there for, spur of the moment thing, you do have the movie theater, great. You do have the concerts that happen, but I think you do need some sort of entertainment like this. So excited to see and hoping that they do well. So they'll have 3 signature games available. They'll have Axe Run. And these are the signature games, so there's other entertainment there as well. But they'll have the Axe Run. It looks like you race across a narrow beam while dodging swinging axes. Okay. Ninja Swing. Use ropes to navigate across platforms, earning stars based on how far your group advances. And then you have Mansion Banquet. Solve logic puzzles to match guests with the right seat, meal, and drink before time runs out. So very cool to see that. Pyle says, I agree. We skip Disney Springs because it's all shopping for the most part. It's just not, it just doesn't appeal to me, other than wanting to go to the specialty Disney stores or Swirls on the Water for some specialty Dole Whips, Goofy Candy Company, the Christmas store, and World of Disney. Sometimes the Lego store. I mean, when we're there next month or August with Jay, he may want to go there since he works at a Lego store. Outside of that, we don't really go there very often. We didn't go this whole trip. Finley and I didn't go at all. Not So Scary Mary TV is here. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Gift cards are now available to be stored on the app. This is something people wanted for a long time. So you can now store your gift cards on the app. You're supposed to be able to store them also as the default payment type, but I've heard from people that they're not able to do that. I have not tried it myself personally, so I can't say yes or no. Big news this week, and we will dig into this in a little bit, but here are your dates for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party 2026. So they start November 8th and run through December 22nd. And then you have Jollywood Nights 2026, which starts November 7th and runs through January 5th. Now, this is a little interesting to me because that means that Jollywood Nights has a party starting before Magic Kingdom, and the Jollywood Nights parties last through January 5th. That has not happened before, and I just wonder why that is, that they're also adding additional dates compared to what they were last year. I think it's 2 or 3 additional party dates from what they had last year. So as we dig into it, we'll talk more about that. But I just found it interesting that Jollywood Nights has quite a few parties, and they start earlier than Festival of the Holidays. They start earlier than Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and they last longer than both of those as well. So does that mean something there? Are they really starting to put more into Jollywood Nights? We'll see. And again, Festival of the Holidays starts November 27th and runs through December 30th. So this is a little later than the others than the party dates, right? Because essentially you have Food and Wine that runs later, and then it ends December 30th because you have New Year's Eve at Epcot, which, if anybody knows, that's like the place to be. So they don't run the festival that late. There are some aspects that are still out past December 30th. I don't think we might find out some information about that, but like Joyful, I remember seeing Joyful after those dates. So we'll see what happens. They did also give us a sneak peek at some of the merch, so we'll dig into this. Of course, on the Diz Pod, we will do a deep dive episode into all the merch, the food, the activities once we get closer to those dates. But here's a little peek at the merch. So here you have a Spirit jersey in pink with a matching hat. You have the candy cane ears. Here you have some ornaments. You have a Disneyland hoodie. I would assume there's a Disney World one as well. I kind of like this one with the Santa hat over the D in Disneyland, and then the Mickey Christmas lights running throughout the entire word there. So I think that's pretty cool. I think we'll see something very, very similar for Disney World as well. So stay tuned there. And then here's a couple other ornaments. These look like they're glass or ceramic ornament. And then you also have a Hanukkah pin. I would assume that's a pin. And so we'll take a peek at more of this as it comes out. But Disney did release this just today. Some of these pictures. All right, so let's let's dig into the party stuff since we were talking about it. All right, so you have Jollywood Nights. again, starts November 7th and runs to January 5th. Now, as far as the what's included, seems to be very similar to last year. So I'm not seeing anything that really says, we had to add more dates because there's so much more going on or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's all in the food and the merch. Maybe. You know how Disney does. So here you have Mickey and Minnie dressed very similar to how they were dressed last year. Your dates are November 7th through the 5th, extending, as I said, into January for the first time. Note that November dates are set for select Saturdays and Mondays, with December events on select Saturdays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. In January, they are on Sunday and Tuesday. I don't know why it says select Sundays and Tuesdays. It's one of each. Whatever. You can enter as early as 5:30, which is before the party starts at 7:30. So you'd have 2 hours of generic park time, and then the party starts kicking off at 7:30, and then you'll have 5 hours of the party, which goes until 12:30 a.m. So for me, that's a pretty good value. Of course, pricing is not out yet, but pretty good value because you could get there at 5, especially as an annual pass holder. You can go in way before that, get your wristband at 5:30, and then just stay the rest of the night until 12:30. Tickets go on sale July 9th for resort guests. So if you have a resort booked at any point during the November 7th through January 5th, you can buy tickets for any of those dates. And then July 16th, they go on sale for everyone. There is an annual pass holder discount and DVC member discount. It's typically $10, and it's normally the earlier parties. So once we have that information finalized, we'll talk about that as well. Catherine's talking about the merch. She likes the sweater, the hoodie, and the candy cane ears. All right. And listen, you guys know that's just the beginning. That's just a little teaser of it. Wilson's in the World, hello, says they've never done Jollywood Nights, hoping we can do it this year. Yeah, I enjoyed it. We did it the very first year. We didn't do the first party, but we did it the first year that that Jollywood Nights was around. I enjoyed it. We did not have the ice skating show at that point. I think the majority of the stuff was there, but they've just kind of plussed it up since then. So it's tempting this year. All right, so you do have my screen froze for you guys. Hang on, let me try and refresh that. So otherwise I'm scrolling and you guys can't see what I'm scrolling. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Oh, we don't need 2 of me. Let's see. You can see some behind the scenes editing right here. Okay, so you have probably my favorite part of that night was the Disney Holidays in Hollywood, which happens at the theater where Beauty and the Beast is, at the Theater of the Stars. So you have Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy hosting a holiday gathering with Disney friends like Mickey, Minnie, Belle, and Tiana. You also have the What's This? Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas sing-along. I thought that was a really fun show. And it always surprises me because it happens in the theater where they do the Frozen sing along, and you get there for this show, and it's like a totally different theater. It's amazing the work that the Imagineers and the cast members do. So that was fun. Also, you have Glisten, that's the skating show, is returning. Happens right in front of the Chinese theater. It's a sparkling treat. World-class skaters twirl, leap, and dance across shimmering synthetic rink set to classic holiday tune. Synthetic? I thought that was real ice out there. With twinkling projections and Art Deco flair, it's pure Christmas magic on ice. Grab a cozy drink, snuggle up, and let Winter Wonderland dazzle your night. David T., you did Jollywood Nights, I thought, last year. Did you watch the Glisten show? I can't remember. Let us know if you did. The Twilight soiree at the Tip Top Club. That's a pretty cool 1930s style swinging celebration with live holiday music. That happens over at the Courtyard at Hollywood Tower Hotel. I think they've tweaked it a little bit since the first year, but I loved the group that was over there performing. I thought that was spot on to the feel of the night, the feel of the era. The skating show, David. You have Pixar Disco lights up Pixar Plaza with a Holly Jolly dance party featuring Edna Mode, Frozone, Joy from Inside Out, and Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. So I don't remember that one. It wasn't there the year that I did Jollywood Nights, so that's kind of cool. And then you have Jazzy Holidays at the Hollywood Brown Derby, which is an adult-oriented retreat within the Christmas atmosphere of Jollywood Nights. Ideal choice for guests seeking a blend of culinary delights, live music, and a touch of holiday elegance. I have never been inside Hollywood Brown Derby. The first year that we went as a family to Disney World, I had a reservation for Hollywood Brown Derby, but I looked at the menu and I thought, I don't think our family really, would like that. So we ended up not going. We canceled it and went somewhere else. I can't remember. And then, of course, you have Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam, which is the nighttime spectacular that happens over at the Chinese Theater, starring Wayne and Lanny from Prep and Landing. Show follows their mission to rescue Santa with scenes from classics like Beauty and the Beast, Mickey's Christmas Carol, and Nightmare Before Christmas. Add in Snowfall on Hollywood Boulevard and synced Magic Band Plus effects, and you've got a fireworks-filled celebration wrapped in pure holiday magic. You'll have plenty of holiday character greetings. So here's a few of the familiar faces you might spot. So Phineas and Ferb, Max Goof as Powerline, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, so not Chip and Dale, but Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, Stitch dressed as Santa, Baloo and King Louie, the Mandalorian and Grogu, Chewbacca celebrating Life Day, Lotso from Toy Story 3, Partysaurus Rex, Bing Bong from Inside Out, Duffy, Scrooge McDuck, Donald Duck and Daisy Duck, Goofy and Pluto, and Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. Plenty of rides will be open during Jollywood Nights. Rock and Roller Coaster, Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, Star Tours, Tower of Terror, Runaway Railway, Slinky Dog, Alien Swirling Saucers, and Toy Story Mania. And again, there'll be more info to come as they get closer to the dates. All right, so that is Jollywood Nights. Let's take a quick peek at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party for 2026. Dates run from November 8th through the 22nd of December. They are Sundays, or Sunday, November 8th to Tuesday, December 22nd. Here you can enter the park as early as 4 o'clock, even though the party starts at 7. So you have 3 hours of traditional park time. That will not be bad at all, because when there's a party, the crowds are much lower because people know that they're not going to get a full day out of the park. So a lot of people will go elsewhere. So that's three hours of regular park time, and then the party officially starts at 7. I don't think that's any different from the year that I went to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So tickets, again, same as Jollywood Nights, starts on July 9th for Disney World guests, and sale starts on July 16th for general public. There are discounts for annual pass holder and DVC members as well. There will be party character greetings. You have over at Princess Fairy Tale Hall, Anna and Elsa, and then at Town Square Theater, you have Jack Skellington as Santa, along with Sally, and then you have Mickey and Minnie in their finest holiday looks. You can meet Santa at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. That's typically, that's over by Dumbo and the Barnstormer. So it's back there in that part of Fantasyland, Storybook Circus. Of course, you have the Once Upon a Christmas Parade. Great parade. Not my number one parade. It's actually probably number 3 for me, but it's a great parade nonetheless. And they mentioned that the parade travels from Frontierland to Main Street, so there's plenty of great viewing locations for guests throughout the park. In other words, don't stay at the hub and Main Street for 3 hours to get a spot. You can see this parade anywhere through that, through the traditional parade route. You have Minnie's Wonderful Christmas Time Fireworks. Doesn't look like that's changed any time. That's changed any. That's a fun show. I like the music in that one and the fireworks in that one. I actually like that fireworks show more than I do the Halloween fireworks. There will be dessert parties that'll be coming up. Reservations for that will be coming soon, they say. You have Mickey's Most Merriest Celebration, the stage show that happens at the castle. That's always fun. My tip for that is always wait till the last one, because the last one is when the park closes. So there's nothing else to do anyway, so you might as well see that show. And then while everybody else is seeing the shows that are running at like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever time it is, you're out there enjoying the party. You do have the Frozen Holiday Surprise. That is typically earlier. If I remember correctly, it's in the 6 o'clock hour normally. We'll get more details on that. And then you have dance parties in the park. So that will, do they say? No, it just says different locations. Typically, it's over by Adventureland and Tomorrowland. And I want to say they do have the DJ at the castle, but I don't remember. All right, you're going to have plenty of rides during the party. So you do have holiday overlays that we've seen on Space Mountain, Tomorrowland Speedway, Mad Tea Party, Jingle Cruise, and Monsters Laugh 4. So not much has changed there. Nothing has changed there. And then a few of the classic attractions that'll be open: Pirates, Big Thunder, Haunted, Mine Train, Space Ranger Spin, and more. Obviously, you're going to have plenty of merch as well and sweet treats. So those will be coming up. As soon as we have info on that, we'll be dropping that info. All right, and then you have the Festival of the Holidays, which I love what they do here because they're using the fact that they have the World Showcase and they're showcasing holiday stories from around the world. So I think that's one of the best parts about it. Obviously, the Candlelight Processional cannot be outdone with what they do with that storytelling there. So this will run from the 27th of November through December 30th. As in years past, it will start the day after Thanksgiving, so don't fill up on too much turkey and pie because you won't want to miss all the delicious dishes available around the park. So you'll have the holiday traditions with World Showcase storytellers. They will tell the stories of their lands and how their lands celebrate or how their cultures celebrate the season. So you'll have them in Mexico, Norway, China, Germany, Italy, Japan. Between Morocco and France is where the Hanukkah storyteller is. And then you also have France, UK, and Canada. You'll have Santa sightings around Epcot, so you'll be able to see Pierre Noel and at France, Barn Santa in Norway, and Communicore Hall, and Santa will be greeting guests. Oh, so Barn Santa's at Norway, and then Communicore Hall. And then you have Goofy as Santa at the Odyssey. Okay, so Santa's at Communicore Hall, and Santa Goofy is at the Odyssey. Okay. I thought last year, I can't remember 100%, but I thought last year Santa and Goofy were at the Odyssey, but Goofy didn't get there until after Christmas. But maybe I'm wrong. Someone can correct me, please, if you remember. Obviously, you're going to have plenty of holiday decor around Epcot. I think Epcot has a beautiful tree. I love all the trees, really. I mean, the Animal Kingdom tree is amazing with all the ornaments that they do, all the oversized presents and all that at the Magic Kingdom tree. The Epcot tree is beautiful. And then that whole vibe at Hollywood Studios is just can't be outdone. You will have the Gingerbread Spaceship Earth display in Communicore Hall again. That was always kind of cool. And that does a show every 15 minutes, similar to the actual Spaceship Earth. And then, of course, you have the Candlelight Processional. As soon as the storytellers, the narrators for that are announced, we will cover them. The DSN will be shooting it out for sure. I will be sharing it in Facebook groups, and we'll be talking all about it here. Joyful is an amazing group. If you have the time to see them, or if you're watching a streamer and they go see Joyful, you've got to check it out. They're absolutely amazing. And the Voices of Liberty, Dick and Carolers, don't miss them as well, because what they do is amazing. So hopefully we'll have some streamers taking advantage of those two beautiful acts. You also have the festival kitchens. Obviously, we're going to dig into that on the DizPod when we have that information. And then you have the cookie stroll also. Living with Land gets glimmering greenhouses again. You have lights on Spaceship Earth, of course. You have Olaf's Holiday Tradition Expedition Scavenger Hunt. And then you also have Scentsi's Festive Fragrances. So that's all coming to Epcot for the Festival of the Holidays. All right, let's go back here. We still have a lot of news to cover. But before we dig into some of that news, we're going to try and figure out what some of these other folks are talking about. I just don't understand why the clickbait just gets me. It just gets me. I just don't understand. So let's take a look. So Disney cancels theme park wait time system across America after 26 years. Now, this was posted 19 hours ago. If I remember, I pulled this today. If I read this on the surface, I guess we just don't tell people what the wait times are. David Powell, if you're here, I guess you can shut down the Park Companion app. There's no need for it. Because according to this, they don't do wait times anymore. No, turns out the story behind the story is some of you, if you've been going to Disney for a while, might remember they had the Flip card. That system was where you would get, I think it was a red card, if I remember correctly. You'd be asked to hold this while you're going through the line, and then when you get up to the cast member at the end, you gave it to them, and that was how they told actual wait times. You know, they wanted to spot check their wait times to see how accurate they were. Not really needed at this point. Number one. Number two, not needed at this point because on your app, it's basically got location services built in. So they can tell when you step into line and they can tell when you get to the ride. So not really needed, but that's what this story was about. It was about that system that, I mean, I don't even know when the last time they handed out a red card was. It's just not needed. So that's what they retired. But of course, they made it into something totally crazy. Disney World celebrates Toy Story 5 with attraction announcement. An attraction. I didn't hear anything about this. Did you guys hear anything about this attraction? There's a new attraction. Where are they putting it? I mean, it says Disney World, so it must be Disney World. So we're getting a new Toy Story announcement? Or are we getting, they're celebrating? I don't understand. What does this mean? Well, turns out there is a Joffrey's food truck over at Disney Springs. It's decorated with a Toy Story wrap. That's the attraction. I don't get it. I don't get it. Disney World cast members asking for identification at resort. Access blocked for select guests. Now, again, you start using words like that, it makes it sound very selective. That's not what this is about. So, yes, are cast members asking for identification at resort? That's not even proper English. You wouldn't even read it that. It was hard for me to read it that way because you wouldn't say it that way. Anyway, at some of the pools, they are asking for identification to make sure that you are a resort guest of that said pool. Now, this is not new. This has been happening forever. The reason this is a story right now is because it's 111 degrees in Florida with the real feel. With the heat index there at 111. You're going to have plenty of people showing up, right, to jump into the pools that don't belong there. And I mean, honestly, there's free towels to use. There's not lockers, but there's changing areas. There's showers that you can take there with body wash and shampoo and conditioner. So yeah, I could see why people would just show up and go to the pools. So certain pools are being locked down. So Caribbean Beach is one of them. Boardwalk area is one of them. That makes sense to me. Totally makes sense to me. Riviera, right? The ones with the nicer pools. I can tell you, I was at All-Star Movies this weekend for 4 days. I never had to show my ID to get in. I never had to scan my Magic Band to get in. But again, it's blown out of proportion to say access blocked. Yes, sure, access is blocked to select guests, but are they guests? It's a little... Speaking of this outlet, we'll call them, this outlet has about 1 million followers. And look at the amount of engagement they have. 14 reactions and 1 share. So that tells you a lot. It's official. Disney World's Toy Story Land is getting a makeover. I don't even, to be honest, I don't even remember what the story was because it was in Nothing Burger. But again, one comment is actually them posting the link to the story. 1 share and 4 reactions. Disney World has ended its popular $99 annual pass down payment. It says it on the top. And then on the bottom it says Disney World just quietly made annual passes more expensive for thousands of guests. Read the top and read the bottom. You can put the story together. Disney Teacher Life says, follow this page because of the clickbait. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't follow them. They just pop up on my feed. And I don't even think that they are actual people, to be honest with you. I think all these stories are written by AI. If Disney ended the lower down payment promotion, they did not make the passes more expensive for thousands of guests. The promotion was a lower down payment, which made your... Oh, you're saying you unfollowed them because of the clickbait. Yeah, that makes sense. The lower down payment makes your monthly payments higher because you're not putting down the same amount as people did before. That's all that happened. The taking that promo away, which was always supposed to be a limited time promotion, ending that promotion doesn't make it more expensive. Does it make your down payment more expensive? Yes, but the annual pass did not go up. But of course, if you want to, go that clickbait route, this is how they feel they needed to do it. Massive Disney park expansion terminated. No sign of development. This one, APP, is about you out there. Sorry. All plans have been stopped, terminated, packed up. All the trucks have gone home. The excavators have been loaded on the large trailers, and they're out of there. Turns out that this story is just saying that there isn't sign of a third park. That's all. That's all that was. Wilson's in the World says, as a non-Florida resident, I just wish we had a monthly payment option. I have 3 that I pay for. with you. And the last one here, Disney World restricts fan access to popular Magic Kingdom coasters effective immediately. Now, I went to Magic Kingdom this week. My brother's currently there. Our streamers are out there every day. They have no access to the Magic Kingdom coasters. I don't know why Magic Kingdom coasters only, though. I guess Disney just decided they don't want guests riding coasters at Magic Kingdom. What? Oh, my producer over there is telling me that this story is nonsense. That it's made up for the headline. Here's the deal. The story is actually about the fact that Barnstormer, and yeah, they named Barnstormer in the story. Barnstormer has a minimum height requirement, but it does not have a maximum height requirement. Sorry, theme park giant. That's the story. The story is that people that are very tall don't fit into Barnstormer. Thanks. Have you been on the Hippogriff? Like that, like I barely fit into that thing. Yeah, that's the story. Is to say that Disney World restricts fan access to popular Magic Kingdom coasters effective immediately. Well, how can it be effective immediately? Barnstormer's been around for how many years now? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Very small, right? Tron, the seats, they have a test seat because, you know, it's a different style seat, similar to Flight of I almost said Flight of the Navigator. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid. Flight of Passage. So, yes, that's the story there, is just the fact that tall people aren't comfortable in some of the rides. But that's what we got to go through with these folks. So those outlets that came from, that is How to Disney, Disney Fanatic, Disney Dining, Disney Tips, and the mother of them all, Inside the Magic. They are all one company. They are all competing to be worse than the other. There was one story that, I think it was that roller coaster one, that it said effective immediately. It was posted today, but when I click into the link and read the story, it was actually in May that they posted it. So why are you now posting the story on your socials today when it was written over a month ago? I think the AI is not working. Somebody might want to check on it. So, yeah, so that's what we got for all of that nonsense. All right, so let's take a quick break here. We'll look at Starlight and we'll come back.
Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids, regardless of their illness or injury. When a child is hospitalized, the happiness of childhood feels out of reach. But that's where Starlight comes in. We provide entertainment through our gaming stations, comfort with our specially designed hospital gowns, play with our toy deliveries, and distraction through our virtual reality headsets. Starlight programs are what happiness is made of. The things that make being a kid special. The simple power of a smile, delivered to over 800 hospitals across the country, can make a lifetime of difference for sick kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
All right, so that is Starlight Foundation. They do some great work across the country. The DSN will be participating in a fundraiser that has started now. and it will run through September as we try to raise money for Starlight to benefit kids with or kids in children's cancer hospitals all across the country. The great thing is that each channel can decide where their money goes. So they can decide if it's going to help get gowns or that radio flyer wagon that you saw, or the video game system that you saw, or toys and games deliveries. So you can also choose. So I could choose my local hospital here in North Carolina. APP can choose Children's Hospital of Orange County out there in California. Blake is in St. Louis. He can choose a children's hospital there. But each individual channel raises their own money. But together, the DSN will have one huge fundraiser, and each of the money that is raised by each of the channels will show as one big number. So very excited to see that come together. This is the first year that we're doing any fundraising, because it's the first year that we've really been around. We just celebrated 1 year of the DSN back on June 4th, and we will continue to do good work. So that's going to be through the foundation, the DSN Magic Makers is what we're calling it, because it will be kind of generic as Starlight is this year. Maybe we do something different next year. That's kind of the idea behind that. So we kept it kind of generic for that reason. Your Disney day leveled up. No matter what screen you watch, phone, tablet, or PC, enjoy full quality just like you're watching on YouTube. With Multiview, watch multiple streamers at once. Your magic, your way. And every minute you watch counts towards each streamer. They get full watch time credit. Plus, with the Park Companion app, you can keep up to date on all of the wait times and alerts. From rope drop to fireworks, don't miss a moment. Disney Streamer Network. Experience the magic your way. All right, and that is the Disney Streamer Network at dsn.disneystreams.com. You can find us on all of these socials as well. 369 friends on Facebook, 208 on Instagram, 146. This number's actually wrong. This whole slide's wrong, actually. 149 on YouTube, and I think it's 116 on TikTok, and 51 on Threads. So you can find us at all those spots. Come and hang out. We'll share all the news and goodies with you. Our friends out there are doing really good work, bringing us as much of the parks as they can. For example, we'll go back to one of the news stories for a moment, the restriction. Okay, so we know that the parks are being restricted, or excuse me, the resorts are being restricted from Disney Springs. You want to get on a Disney Springs bus starting June 28th, you have to have a resort reservation to any resort to get onto any bus at Disney Springs, and or boat. Or you can have an Enchanted Extra that might be happening there, reservation for that, or a dining reservation. Okay. So the whole reason for that is that you had folks that were parking at Disney Springs because the parking is free, and then taking a bus or boat to a resort and then going to the park from there so that they can skirt around the $35 parking fee. To me, I think that's absolutely ludicrous to spend that much time traveling just to get around spending $35, especially when you have 4 people in a car. Why does it matter? Pay, the $35 to park. So this is going to do a couple things. The biggest thing is the overcrowding on the buses to the resorts, back and forth to Disney Springs. although I don't know that they're really that crowded. The buses to the parks will have less people on them because if people were going to, say, Port Orleans and then catching a bus to Magic from there, now those people will not be on the buses. And then the other thing it will do, and this I think is the biggest factor, is the overcrowding in the parking lots at Disney Springs. Because you have those people that are parking there all day long because they're rope dropping, and they're probably getting there at 7 with the pin people in order to get to the park as early as possible, because they're going to spend at least an hour and a half probably traveling in order to save money. So I think you're going to have that go away as well. So I totally get that, because the other option was for them to charge $35 for people to park at Disney Springs. If they were to do that, I'd be okay with it if you then got your parking validated because you spent $50 at the Lego store or dinner or World of Disney or whatever. But we saw Disney with Sean within the past week get restricted from entering a resort. Now, on face value, that became a big thing. I watched a TikTok video today of this woman like screaming at us saying, "I told you so. I told you this was coming." Well, first of all, lady, you didn't tell me anything because this is the first time I've ever seen your video. Secondly, I was in the parks. I stayed in a resort. I didn't go to Disney Springs, but I did move about resorts. Went to all 3 All-Stars, used the monorail, went to all 3 monorail resorts. There was never an armed guard waiting to check my ID to see if I could get in. Okay. Now, from what I understand, I haven't talked to Sean directly, but from what I understand in our chats back and forth is, and he has said it on his streams after that as well, is that it was one guard. It had something to do with pins. I guess there was a pin release or something like that. And so that was the issue. So, I also meant to take a picture of it. I should have. I'm going to ask the next streamer that goes to Animal Kingdom to take a picture. On the Disney, and it's probably actually on the other ones as well. On the Disney bus transportation sign that tells you where each of the buses are that you're picking up from Animal Kingdom to go to a resort or to go to another park. On the bottom of that, it says Disney Springs, transfer at any resort. So the parks are telling you if you want to go to Disney Springs, you need to go to a resort first. Okay. That's long been a thing because there is no bus directly from the park to the resort, or excuse me, to Disney Springs. And the whole reason that happens is so that you didn't have direct access for the people that are trying to park for free. Okay. Pyle is right, because it was also 6:30 in the morning. Right? So now, of course, you also have the announcement that there's no gingerbread, large gingerbread display. There will be smaller gingerbread displays at Grand Flow, but the large gingerbread has been retired. And so people are now saying, will we be able to see any of those gingerbreads because gingerbread houses or the displays, right? Boardwalk has some nice ones, and Beach Club, Yacht Club, and Grand Flow is going to have a whole selection of them. And so people are like, well, now, nope, you can't resort hop. Disney has not said I can't resort hop. Are they becoming more restrictive? Yes. But they haven't said no one gets to resort hop. First of all, if you're staying at a resort on Disney property, yeah, you can resort hop. You can't pool hop, but you can resort hop. You can use Disney transportation to get there, but you can't just show up in your car and try to park at Contemporary or Grand Flow or the Poly. Why? Think about it, folks. You're the closest to Magic Kingdom. If I go to Contemporary and I can just drive in and park there, then I could park there for free and take the 6-minute walk or whatever it is to get over to Magic Kingdom. Then I skirt around the parking fee. That's why that's not allowed. That's why there's no direct bus from Disney Springs to the parks. All this stuff is happening. Now, there's a lot of people online saying that influencers, you guys know I hate that word, influencers are who ruined this because we were online telling people how to do this to get around the parking. I've never even thought that that was an idea until recently when this started bubbling up. When was that? Was that Easter? Yeah, Easter, when that became a story because it was starting to be regulated during the holidays. That always happens. Okay? 4th of July, it's going to come up again that they're restricting, I guess the 3rd, because fireworks are the 3rd, 4th, and 5th this year. So it's going to come up again. Why? Because you cannot just walk to the Poly, Grand Flow, or the Contemporary to go watch fireworks if you're not staying there. And there, for those 3 days, you have to be staying there if you want to stay or if you want to see the fireworks from the beaches or from the viewing decks. Makes total sense to me. It makes total sense to me. Because if you let everybody go there to see the fireworks, then Disney World as a whole becomes just overrun with all of Kissimmee, Orlando, Davenport, Mineola, and every other town in between, probably as far as Daytona Beach, coming to look at the fireworks. So I get it. But resort hopping was not restricted. I was able to move about the resorts as I wanted to. Now, we didn't do a lot because we put a lot of time into parks and swimming because she wanted to go to the pool. But we swam in our own pool at All-Star Movies, which is why we paid for a preferred room because it was right outside. So just when you see news like that, look at the source, okay? I've given you 5 that you should never put anything into, okay? You want me to name them for you again? I will. How to Disney, Disney Dining, Disney Tips, Disney Fanatic, and Inside the Magic. Inside the Magic, who used to be very good. They used to be trustworthy. They sold the company to somebody else, and this is what you get. The DSN is always going to give you the news that you need to know. I try to put that out every day. On this show, we're going to give you the news. We're going to talk about it, with a little bit of opinion, but not overly opinionated. And just watch how things are said, right? So the signs don't say you can't park, because the other thing is that people are thinking you're going to not be able to get on a bus at Magic Kingdom and go to a resort without scanning in. The signs don't say that. The signs explicitly say Disney Springs. And that sign has been out for like a week. I was in the parks this week. I went to all 4 parks. I never saw a sign that said, get ready because we're going to be scanning your Magic Band or ticket in order to get you back onto a bus. It's not going to happen, folks. I want you to think about, go watch any streamer who leaves right after the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. That monorail line is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. It's like rope drop in reverse, okay? They are not scanning Magic Bands to get people out of there. Disney has things in place, and sometimes they tweak them. So, for example, when you scan into the park, you have to scan your Magic Band or whatever, and you put your fingerprint on the fingerprint scanner. But if it is rope drop and they feel it's too busy, there's no fingerprint scan. They turn that off. You're just scanning your Magic Band and you're going in because they need to keep the parks moving. Doing a scan of a Magic Band to get you onto a bus from a park would be an absolute nightmare. It's not happening, folks. Somebody said, now you're going to put that into each of the bus drivers at the Disney Springs is going to have to check. No, they're not doing that either. You're going to have one person, or you're going to have a checkpoint. You're going to scan there, and then you're going to be able to free flow into whatever bus lane you need to get to. Same thing will happen in the back by the water. That's all that's going to happen. They're not going to make every bus driver put a Magic Band scanner in their bus. Although that would be cool, but it's not going to happen. So just watch your sources. If you have questions, you can always reach out to us here at the network. We will try to continue to be 100% truthful and honest with the news that we deliver. So always, because I think that's important for a news network, a news organization, to be truthful and honest. No clickbait here. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this week. Remember, Tuesday night, we will be doing the Diz Pod. We're going to talk all about the 4th of July festivities coming up. We're going to recap the daddy-daughter trip. And then we're going to be off a week from the Diz Pod. And then July 14th, that's going to be a big show. Princess Tiana from Disneyland will be with us on that show. You don't want to miss that one. We're going to have a lot of fun there. She's going to tell us all about her experience about being Princess Tiana. She also got to go to Princess Tiana's restaurant, or her family's restaurant down in New Orleans. So she'll talk to us all about that, share some of her experiences and what she's doing now. So be sure to check into that. David says that there's a cast member, a bus driver who has a channel, said at Springs they will be scanning Magic Bands to enter the bus loop. There will be 2 entry points, one at the bus loop. Oh, once in the bus loop, you can take any bus. Exactly right. Yep. You can't, logistically, that's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all being here. Make sure to go out and watch all of our friends on the DSN. I know tonight, Thursdays are kind of a light night for us on the network, but I know that we do have In the Park days out at Hollywood Studios. And so I am sending you right there to go check them out. Be sure to go to dsn.disneystreams.com for all of your park streams, the Park Companion app, the Wait Times app, and the Wonderful Window. So even if you just want to listen to music, Park World Radio is right there for you, right at dsn.disneystreams.com. All right, folks, go out there and make it a great night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. We'll see you later. Oh, I'm missing that file again. Guys, that file moved. I don't get it. I thought I fixed it. Oh, hold on. Let's find it. Hold on. I can't close the show without a closing, right? All right, here we go. See you guys later.
This monorail will be departing momentarily. Thank you.